Alright guys, here's a little sneak peek of what this will look like. So I just put this out, this wonderful Florida sun. It laid out pretty quick. I am gonna weight it down. I've got some weights sitting over here. I'm gonna drop them on it once I put it down on there. This is like just enough for the width of this boat. I've only got to use one piece, so I'm not gonna have any seams on it, so I'm super happy about that. So this is what we're looking at, and that'll be my bottom floor decking on this boat. So I'm gonna go ahead and get it positioned, and then I'll come back and we'll start the process from there. Here's just one more tip when you're laying it down. Just make sure you know the orientation of your floor. Like I told you guys earlier, this is the back part of the boat. Over there is my front. So just be aware, once you get this on, you're not gonna be able to tell, unless you wrote on the bottom of it, which end goes where. I mean, you could always just flip it. You're only gonna have to flip it once, but save yourself from having to go in and out, in and out. Just remember your orientation before you adhere this down. All right, let me get back to it. All right, so I'm just getting into cutting this out. I've already got it laid out. I have a nice overlap all the way around. Just a regular pair of scissors here. Okay, now I've got my cut marks. Just gonna cut a straight as line as I can. Put my other line across the way. This up, put it back in the box. Back in the box. Just a regular pair of scissors, nothing special, nothing fancy. Whatever you got in the kitchen drawer. Nice gap there, nice gap there. I'm just leaving myself a gap all the way around. That way I can cut this, trim it down to fit the exact way I want it. So far, I'm happy with it. Sucker's hot. I didn't expect that. All right, let's get this going. Remember, this is my front, my back. This is supposed to be just peel and stick, so nothing extra to have to put down. I truly hope they're right. It does feel like it's got a good tack to it. And here's where you just kind of go nice and slow. And get that where you want it. And now before I commit, I'm going to pull it. Still like the overhang I've got. I'm just putting gentle pressure because we're going to roll this thing out in the end. Weight back down. Now that I've got that back portion done, I can lift and pull that extra piece that I've got here. And we're just going to pull that on back. Nothing moved. Gentle pressure, gentle pressure. We're still good with our lineup. Go ahead and pull a little more. Going to keep repeating this process until we get all the way done. And then I'll break out that roller. Guys, this is hot. I didn't expect that. I don't know why I didn't expect that, but I feel like it's probably hotter than carpet. Doesn't look like I had an all the way clean tear. I sure didn't. All right. That's okay. right, guys, that is done. That is down. I don't think that's going anywhere. But now we're going to get our roller. I picked this up off Amazon the other day. This particular one is made by a company called Fulton. It's a heavy duty, basically it's just a flooring roller. As you're doing like interior laminate floors or whatever you're doing. But that's what I'm doing. I'm putting down a floor. So it's perfect. It's extendable. This one goes from 17 inches to 27 inches in length. If you twist it to the left or the loosen, the whole thing comes apart. Once you get where you want, turn it to the right, it locks it in place, and put it wherever you want to get the leverage you need. So right now, I'm going to start to roll it while it's up top just to get a nice good seat on it. After that, I'm going to bring it to the ground so I can put my weight into it. Start in the middle here, work our way out. We'll flip to the other side, we'll start over there and bring it back. Back to the middle, we're going to go to the other side. Really want to focus on getting those edges down nice and tight. And the reason I'm going to put this on the ground is so I can really get some weight on top of it and make sure that baby is seated and doesn't come off. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to trim it, because I don't want to end up putting that down on the ground and then pick up all this dirt. So I'm just going to run my blade along the edge of my flooring board here. And that's how we're hopefully going to cut it. I don't know how well this cuts with razor blade. job as I thought I was gonna do. But if you just go slow, it seems to work pretty good. I'm trying to get close to the board and not shave off my epoxy, because that's what I wanted there to seal my edges. So I'm being conservative. And I just left way too much on that corner. So I will have to come back and trim it. It's not as bad to cut with this razor knife as I thought it might have been. Just be careful when you got to get your fingers next to that blade to start. It's trimmed up the best I'm going to get it right now. I think what I'm going to do is, when I put it on the ground, to roll it, I'm going to flip it upside down and cut some of the excess that I didn't get. But I'm going to get another piece of wood that I got over here to put it down on to have a stable surface. And this piece of wood is just the leftover piece from this piece of flooring here. So now remember, you're moving this thing around, you got to remember still which one's your front and back. For me on this one, it's easy to remember because I got an overhang on this corner, and that's my back half. let's flip that. Remember, you flipped it again. Remember your orientation. This is still my back. Now you could, and I think I will, so I don't have to keep remembering it. Just draw a back and a front. You can do what you got to do and not have to think about it. Instead of the razor, we're going to switch over to scissors. I should have probably just used them in the first place. Scissors aren't working great either. So, aren't you glad you guys are watching this? You don't get all my same mistakes. You guys can see the gap here. I don't want to leave it because I don't want to give it a starting point where this starts to peel and lift. So back down we go. It's hot and I'm sweating like a pig. looks like shit now. I'm not happy with how it looks now that I just tried to do that. My best advice would be if you can get this nice and tight in one shot when you first start, you're going to get the best results. Now it's all jagged on that section. And it looks like shit in my opinion now. So we're just going to run with it the way it is. Because at least before it was somewhat smooth. And now it looks like crap. Which kind of pisses me off because I really wanted this to look nice. So my corner came out nice. That came out nice. I'm happy with that. Snip that little edge off. That was nice. This part is, I don't know. It's a lost cause, I think. It's pretty horrible. Let me see if I can. Oh, there's my knife. See if I got a better razor blade. Let's try a new blade. Let's see what we get. Might work a little better. Ah. Now we're talking. New blade, guys. Before you start this, make sure you got a brand new blade. This is a game changer right here. Now we're getting somewhere. It's cutting like butter. Nice pretty edge. Yeah. Let's go back over to this side. I'm honestly using it in a sawing motion and it's actually cutting perfect. When I was trying to pull it, there's just not enough material, and it's just trying to peel it off instead of cutting, even with the new blade. So using it this way, I'm getting the results that I want and that I'm happy with. Again, watch your fingers, especially if you got a new blade on there. You won't even feel the cut. I think we're good. That's a lot better than what I had. One more piece over here. So I'm not being fussy with this to be a perfectionist, but I don't want to give this a starting place for it to start peeling off prematurely. So I feel the better I can have that tucked in to where it is, the better my chances are of this thing lasting longer. Now, while I do want it to look nice, you know, as we all do, nobody puts the work and time into stuff and the money for it to look like crap. Nobody wants that. But I would be as equally pissed if I got this all down, used it a couple times, and then this started peeling off just because I got lazy and didn't want to take the extra time to trim it up. So now if it comes off, I still won't be happy, but at least I'll know I did what I could do to give it the best shot of sticking. And this stuff is sticky. You can see I picked up all that grass on there. Keeps sticking to my shoes. And now we're going to give it one more roll. Because I was pushing on it so much. y'all saw that, but that razor blade just stuck right in the side of the sawhorse. Grab my roller. All right. I'll show you what it looks like. So we're looking on the edges. All right. Let's go put this baby in for the last time. And I think that's going to give you a good shot there. Well, that's where we're at. I'm pretty happy with that. It's definitely going to give more stability than what the factory gave us, you know. And now we'll get back to doing the other part.